Scratch is Wake's double. He tricked us. He almost got the clicker from me. The whole plan has gone out the window. How could we get this so wrong?
Textbook boondoggle.
You said it, Anderson. It's a shit show. So what's the plan?
Scratch pretended to be Wake to trick us.
He almost won me over. I should have trusted my gut. Had a bad feeling about him when we found him at the lake. When that insane monster cloud came at me in the woods, I saw a face inside it. Wake's. I think he was always a monster. Always Scratch.
The FBC usually handles stuff like this, right? Any thoughts?
Hold up. You brought a paranatural object in here without telling me and then almost handed it over to a hostile entity?
I didn't know if I could trust you. That was a mistake. So was believing Scratch. But it's not too late. I just need to understand more.
You got that right. Let's start acting like we're on the same side, yeah?
So tell me what I'm missing. The FBC must know something.
Good news, we have Bureau intel on all of this. Bad news, it's highly classified. Good news, consider yourself deputized into the Federal Bureau of Control. Here's a key to the cell where we keep the files. Happy reading.
Okay. Thanks. Go team.
One more thing, the Lake House. I didn't give you all the details earlier, but now that you're part of the team, I can really let loose. Misery loves company.
The horror story's changing reality. It made it so my daughter died here, even though she's supposed to be back home in Virginia. Do you know if that's...
AWEs are localized distortions of reality. The area outside town might not be affected. Sometimes they expand, sometimes they fizzle out. If we can make sure it's the latter, your kid might be fine.
The whole thing is a nightmare. I can't let my family be torn apart.
Having family isn't easy in this line of work. The late nights, travel, alternate realities threatening their existence. My ex-wife couldn't take it.
Karen, you're better off without her. I know I am.
What happened at the lake house? I'm sorry about your brother, Ilmo.
Yaakov was all heart. He always went along with my ideas, no matter how stupid they were. Always happy to help. I got carried away. I never think things through. It's my fault.
I realize it's a bad time. But I need you to tell me everything about the cult of the tree.
The cult is my craziest idea that ever worked. Look, what kind of a cult calls themselves a cult? Exactly. We protect water in Bright Falls. We're the good guys. A secret neighborhood watch. Well, that was the idea anyways. Look, we've always known about the horror inside the lake. When any Taken come out, we kill them.
You don't turn people into Taken. You kill the ones who already have. You were trying to kill Alan Wake. Why?
Nothing good has ever come out of Cauldron Lake. The nightmare that hit Bright Falls in 2010 was all because of his writing. And ever since then, pages of his stories are floating up from the lake, and monsters keep popping out. It's all him, Wake. And if we don't stop him, no one will.
Wake's evil doppelganger Scratch is the threat we're facing, not Wake. And I will stop him.
I've never heard of anyone called Scratch.
How long has the cult been around for?
Certain folks around here have always known about Cauldron Lake. Before us, it was the Torchbearers. And when I inherited the mission, I wanted to call it a cult. It was genius. Just a name did half the work. Made people too scared to go into the woods at night. Business 101. Fear is a great motivator. I'm so sorry, Yoko.
You really don't remember Logan living in Virginia with me and David?
I remember you and David having problems. You needed a break. You and Logan moved to Watery and then Logan, well, that awful thing happened. After you came back to work, I thought you'd be the perfect partner for this case, if you were willing to return to the area.
Okay. That's enough. That's all the stashes. These people were well prepared. Shouldn't spend time on old questions. Think, Saga. The dark presence is vulnerable against bright light. At least that makes sense. What if I take the weird doll to the place it's not supposed to go? What's the worst that can happen? Okay. They're actually kind of cute the longer you look at them.
This is the kind of case my ex hated. The ones that might kill me.
That's funny. Cases that might kill me.
And now, the sheriff's station? Did you hear?
Hear what?
Apparently, they locked up that crime writer, you know, the one who disappeared in Bright Falls years ago. And then they find him, and boom, all hell breaks loose.
Big city folk, the FBI, famous writers. Ugh, they're all bad luck if you ask me. So, is everyone all right down there in Bright Falls?
I just don't know. There's a lot of good folk in that town. A lot of friendly folk.
And it used to be such a nice, quiet place too, like Watery, before certain people came to town.
This has got to be an Ilmo idea.
Anybody seen what I like emotionals about?
Who knows? If it's not one thing, it's the other.
I think they've got the Koskela brothers locked up in there. I saw them go in earlier.
Oh dear.
Anybody seen what I
Probably
like
got them
emotionals
for
about?
what
Who
happened
knows?
before Mocha
If it's not one
divorced.
thing, it's the other.
I think they've got the Koskela brothers locked up in there. I saw them go in earlier.
What happened at the lake house?
Right. You've seen firsthand how complicated and messy the FBC's cases are. But this story should help you learn that things can always get weirder. This isn't the Bureau's first time in Bright Falls. 1970s, 6, 8... Last one was in 2010. It's not exactly clockwork, but this town sees way more altered world events than most. We knew it was just a matter of time before the lake acted up again. After the AWE in 2010, the FBC's research department set up a facility, the Lake House, to study the threshold in Cauldron Lake, find better ways to contain the entity inside. Your tax dollars at work. When we detected a spike in paranatural activity at Cauldron Lake, before I even knew you were on this case, Saga, the Lake House was my first stop. I was short-handed, hoped they could spare some help, maybe give us some intel on the situation. If I had any clue what was waiting for us in there, Saga, I'd have just kept on driving. This is Agent Kieran Estevez responding to an AWE alert in the vicinity. I need to speak with the Marmons. So much for the welcome wagon. You all set up the perimeter. We're on the threshold's doorstep, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, ma'am.
This shouldn't take long, okay? You see anything, radio me.
Roger that.
The Lake House was run by the research department. Research and investigations don't really see eye to eye. What they call science, I call a violation of Bureau protocol and human decency. Classic interdepartmental drama. Your FBI saga, you know how it goes. Now, in retrospect, my low opinion of the research department may have clouded my judgment. Hello? Agent Kieran Estevez, Investigations Department. No one wants to check the individual carrying a firearm into a restricted government facility? No? Okay, well, it was definitely going in the report. An experiment? That bodes well. Dr. Marmont's not here. Nobody is? I'll have to check downstairs. They must all be working on the lower levels. I'll need to head down. Changing passwords, huh? That's not right. Nope. on. Damn it. Come on. That's not right. Nope.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
This should come in handy. As soon as I got in that elevator, my bad news detector started going nuts. Estivesta team, something's going on in the lake house. I want all nearby agents to— oh, shit!
Agent Estevez, what's your status?
Breach detected in sublevel 5. Staff should seek shelter immediately.
We have a situation in the lake house. All agents converge on the facility now. Belay that order. Where's the fucking elevator? Okay. Priority 1, get the lights on. Standing around in the dark near Cauldron Lake is not smart. What the fuck was that? Okay, he doesn't do a damn thing without power. Dr. Darling? That is not a regulation FBC weapon. Can't open it from the side. I wish they'd make these things lighter. The way I saw it, there was only one way out. Identify the source of the event and contain or eliminate it. Now, good news, I just had to keep going down. Bad news, the elevator liked to disappear. At least the elevator's back. Can't open it from the side. This keycard won't get me in. Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or any action that can be perceived as hostile. You never really get used to the shit you see in this job, but you can learn techniques to adjust, to function, Take 6 deep breaths. Then get to work. Find the source, collapse the threshold.
Mirror, please hold. Please hold.
Now where am I?
Hold.
What is that? If you can understand me, I'm an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or any action that can be perceived as hostile. Do you understand? Well, I'll be damned. So what kind of entity are you? You can speak. That means you probably imprinted on a person or retained some of your former self's information. Previously human, maybe? Okay, I can work with that. I just had an unpleasant encounter with some other painted individuals. Any relation?
1,000 painting shoes crowed.
What does that mean?
Paint no brush, a self-portrait.
Okay, hey, calm down.
Fire in his eyes and hands and bones.
You need to cease all hostility right now. It didn't try to kill me. Okay, baby steps. Angry living paintings are not typically on the Cauldron Lake bingo card. Something different was happening at the lake house, and I couldn't let it escape. Bright Falls didn't need this particular cherry on its already shitty sundae.
Sublevel 3.
Recognize the piece. Did he paint this? His mind was foggy, unfocused. He knew the Marmots were putting something in his food. A man in a white coat came to steer Lane back to his cell. He did not resist. He was too tired. He lay on the bed, but the stench in his cell wouldn't let him sleep. An acid stink, the turpentine, the paint. It was all over him. Years of it. 1,000 paintings. 1,000 more to come. Diana and Jules Marmont had once been a team. Rising stars in the Bureau, both talented in their own way. Diana innovated and Jules got funding from the bureaucrats. Cooperation led to respect, connection. Then after a decade of hard work, the happy couple were promoted. Co-heads of research. Their first years at the Lake House were good. Challenging, but not insurmountable. Not for them. Gradually, thoughts fell.
September 12, 2023. Notes regarding the page of an Alan Wake manuscript I found in the archives. I checked the records, and this page is not in our inventory. I believe it manifested inside the Lake House directly. I won't be filing this page. It'll just send Jules into a panic. The page is written in Wake's usual style, so I can't say for certain if it's being literal or figurative when it calls us monsters. But what's interesting is that the page indicates that a painting succeeded in linking Cauldron Lake's threshold with our facility. Writing has always been the clearly superior avenue of research, but I never considered that the writing itself would dictate a different art form as the catalyst for our success. I cannot accept that. I can't allow Jules to stumble his way into success. Not after the years of work I put into this research. I got word yesterday that 2 writers are visiting Bright Falls. I will beat Jules to the finish line.
In the lake house. The marmots had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The marmots had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The marmots had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The marmots had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant.
Typewriters. Please don't let this be what I think it is. As you know by now, typewriters and Cauldron Lake do not mix. And a room full of them all clacking away. 100% bad news.
keycard. Elevator. I can never say no to extra firepower. Back where I started. Spatial recurrence. Usually observes the law of 3.
This contrived overlap rebounded on itself, compressing, wetting and refracting. An urban legend. Back to hopelessly tangled. Arranged wrong. this is proof that we are going in the right direction. I just need Rudolph Lane's paintings to lead to more pages so that hopefully one day we can understand.
Shifting phenomena. Being studied here. Do you know anything about him?
Names don't matter. 1,000 more to come.
They say clear communication is the key to any relationship. You and I have some work to do there. What happened to you? Did the people here do this to you?
Mormons clogging his head.
You said marmots before. Do they do this? Where are they now?